So the channel recently hit 1 year old. That is if you count when I started consistently uploading. I swear that I am not trying to hide my age right now. Nonetheless, it all started with this dumb Ninja Gaiden video that I uploaded and that I will eventually make a follow-up to sometime this decade. So with that being said, I don't know if this is a thing people typically celebrate or care about, but I feel like it'd be great for my sanity to sit back, unwind, and kind of just talk about what I consider to be my first set of build guides, boss guides, whatever we want to call them, since I think that's what I'm known for. Also, I personally like when other creators that I like do this kind of thing, so maybe this will resonate with some of you. Please do let me know in the comments if you dig this whole kind of thing, since that will tell me whether or not I should keep doing these every now and then. Another thing, aside from the intro, I mostly did this off the cuff, so you'll be hearing a lot more uhs and ums throughout the video. I apologize ahead of time. Extra credit goes to the person who counts all the times I say the word nonetheless in this video. I'll pin that comment. Anywho, without further ado, my name is Fist Truck, and this is the story behind some of my build guides. And that story always begins with the subscribe button. And if you're interested in following me on Twitter, check that out. And also check out my second channel, Fist Truck TV. We're back to uploading regularly with a playthrough of Sekiro. So first, we'll be starting with the best guide on beating Margit, the video that started it all. Except it wasn't, because there was a Ninja Gaiden video I uploaded a week prior to this one coming out that actually started it all. I'd been working on a follow-up to that video, except Elden Ring came out, started playing it, fell in love with it. Got up to Margit, I was like, yo, for a first boss, this guy is insanely fucking brutal. But it took about like 5 or so tries for me to get past him, so I just soldiered on. Got all the way up to Renala. I was using a +3 and a +2 longsword because I was dual wielding, and finally realized, hey, my damage might have been shit, so I should probably go, you know, explore this open world in this open world game. That's when it finally clicked and I understood the point of Margit. The point of Margit is to tell you to go explore shit. Some of my friends were fighting Margit and having some pretty rough experiences. I saw some streams where people were fighting Margit and having some pretty fucking rough experiences. I shit you not. One stream, it was some dude fighting him for 12 hours straight, which I'm always a proponent of. Play the game the way that you want to. That's the way you want to beat him and you want to do like that? Fucking go for it. But like in the time it took for that man to beat Margit, I went to sleep. I woke up, I ate food, I shit, I showered, I hopped back in the stream, and he's still fighting. Like, yo, that's insanity, at least to me. And also a surefire way to lose your fucking mind. Nonetheless, I decided to just throw this guide up together real quick. Really just saying, hey, go explore. It's not really giving you tips on how to actually fight him. It's more just how to prepare to fight him, which I think is really the most important thing when it comes to fighting him. Nonetheless, it performed better than the Ninja Gaiden video that came out a week before, and keep in mind I had like 31 subs at the time, so performing better is 30 views versus 15. So I thought, I was like, hey man, yo, maybe we're onto something here, and that's what will take us to the next video, how to Caveman in Elden Ring. My first build guide, technically, because the previous video was boss guide, sorta. Nonetheless, this video came from a really stupid place, which shouldn't be surprising because it's a really stupid video. Nonetheless, this all started when one of my friends was playing this game, and for every single boss, he would summon those monkey men, beast men dudes, you know, the ones I get in this video. They were absolute dog shit. They wouldn't get anything done except get smacked around and scream. But they were at the very least pretty solid distractions, since there's like 5 of them. And for some odd reason, we really took a liking to them, and we started calling them the Unga Bunga Boys. So every time you get to a boss, it'd be like, yo, summon the Unga Bunga Boys! Summon the Unga Bunga Boys! Like, just really fucking stupid. Nonetheless, I saw that, I was like, hey, I can make a video out of that. So that's exactly what I did. Looked up on the wiki what caveman related gear I could get as fast as possible, because when I started making these build guides, the purpose of them was to make them as easy to do as early as possible. So you can like start a playthrough, and within an hour, 30 minutes or something, like real quick, you can have a bunch of fresh gear and start the game with a different play style. Nonetheless, I'm pretty happy with the way this one turned out. Performance-wise, it did better than the Margit video. Like, hey man, yo, I really think I'm onto something. This one had like 40 views or 50 views. I'm like, yo, we're hitting it big now. And actually, funny enough, by today's standards, it's still one of my best performing videos. So that's funny how that works out. Fight the Mimic tier like a god. If I were to die today, and for some odd reason people would want to watch fish truck videos posthumously, or however you would properly phrase that sentence, this would be up there with one of the ones that you should watch first. This is arguably one of my best works to date, and is also 100% pure shitpost, because seriously, who's looking up how to fight the Mimic tier? Nonetheless, this all started back when I was on New Game Plus 2 with my main character. Hopped in the fight with the Mimic tier. It's like, oh, it'd be funny if I just took off all my armor and equipment and stuff, because I figure it's supposed to copy you. So the Mimic tier comes up as butt naked. I saw that and I was like, I could go one step further with this. Quit out the game, load it back in, made sure to equip the Mimic tier Spirit Ash thing, went back in, also naked, summoned the Mimic tier Ash. Yo, it was like me and two friends were watching this unfold, and it was the dumbest fucking thing ever, because it's just chip damage. It's like, if you haven't watched it, for the love of God, go watch it. There are gags in this video that I feel like I still haven't topped, especially the wrestling one. And then to make matters even better, just some of the backstory, I do say it in the video, but just to reiterate, I wound up just leaving. Because I was like, oh, this is gonna take forever. I'll just let them sort this shit out on their own. I went to go eat, watch a video. I came back and I was almost dead because this motherfucker was punching me to death. This shit almost brought me to tears. I was dying. Nonetheless, when the video came out, I was slightly worried that like it'd be a hot issue or something like that to say this is like the bump fights of Elden Ring. Maybe it still is, because, you know, some might go back and go, hey man, bump fights isn't cool. And bump fights is or are not cool. That whole thing was not cool. But I mean, it's literally just two naked men fucking swinging on each other. I'm sorry, I can't. That's the joke I had to make there. Once again, if you haven't watched this video, please go watch it. I'm not trying to say like, hey man, I need to get the video's performance up. I'm just saying I think it's really good. How to punch an Elden Ring, and I'm just gonna get this out of the way right now. This one might get rambly, so I apologize ahead of time. Nonetheless, this is the video that started it all. I know I previously said that the Ninja Gaiden video was the one that started it all. However, this one actually started it all, because this one took off in a way that I would have never thought possible, to be honest, because for the past like 9 years or so, I've been on and off, mostly off, just to emphasize, uploading videos to YouTube, and you know, nothing ever really gained traction or anything like that, and rightfully so in hindsight. Nonetheless, this one came out, hit like 100 views in a day or two, and I was like, oh my god, hit 100 views, and then hit 1,000. I'm like, oh, what the fuck happened? And then hit 10,000, like, and I know that's not like the biggest thing in the grand scheme of things, but when you're so used to videos getting like, you know, 15, 10, 30, like that kind of stuff, views, and then one just like pops off like that, it's pretty exciting. Nonetheless, this video took me from like 40 subs to about 400 in a week, which was pretty cool. And you know, it's funny the way things work on this platform. I'm not going to claim to know how the algorithm works, because I'm small, and also I don't think anybody does. And really, you just put out videos, people watch them or they don't, and that's about it. And you kind of get a feel for knowing what people like and don't like. Nonetheless, I believe the way it works is that if more people click and watch a video, it recommends it to more people. When you're really, really small, you don't have all that much of an audience in the first place for people to watch your stuff. So if I have like 40 subs and 20 of them watch the video, you know, that's like, it's not all that many people clicking it in the first place, to be realistic, right? That's just kind of how it goes. So you kind of get stuck in that rut for a while, but then you have something like this go off and it's just gone, like just you're kind of out of that rut, and it's pretty exciting. Nonetheless, how this video started was I did the Caveman video. I was on the theme of making naked builds for some fucking reason. So I just decided, hey, it'd be cool if you did a little punching thing in the beginning. I just looked up some talismans to get on the wiki. I realized that this build isn't the most original thing, but I at least like to think that the delivery is what separates it from other videos. Nonetheless, this one clearly resonated with a lot of people, more people than I would have ever anticipated with any of my videos, to be honest. And to this day, I'm like mega grateful for it. Still, you know, like exciting as fuck. And you know, I know in the grand scheme of things, like my channel's not big, but it's a hell of a lot bigger than what it used to be. I'll say that. How to Dark Souls in Elden Ring. Now, this one hits a soft spot for me, so I'll just cut straight to how it started. I was playing through the game, found the Zweihander, whatever, once again, Puerto Rican, not German. Was like, oh, it'd be cool to make a video about this, and you know, you get the little thought in the back of your head, it's like, oh, it's just like Dark Souls 1. And then I fucked around with whatever the fire spell is in this game. I'll just call it combustion. It hits incredibly fast, incredibly hard, and costs like no MP, and then in my head I'm like, Dark Souls, Dark Souls, Dark Souls, Dark Souls. Make a Dark Souls video, but like Dark Souls build in Elden Ring. And once again, much like the previous two build guides, you know, being the punching one and the caveman one, the point is to do it as fast as possible to make it as accessible as possible. Is my goal. You know, how well that comes through is arguable. And I will say I had a real nostalgia boner when I was recording the Dark Souls 1 gameplay for this video. Now, I do still play Dark Souls 1 semi-regularly, and it is still my favorite one in this entire franchise. Keep in mind, it was the one that introduced me to the stuff. It was the first FromSoft Souls thing I played back on launch day, so it was like October 2011 and over here in the States. Nostalgia, yes, I feel like there are things that Dark Souls 1 just does better than every game that came after it, particularly with world building. That makes it just like a, you know, on its own, it's greater than the sum of its parts, I think is the best way to describe it. I also wanted to find a way to kind of capitalize on the how to punch video momentum because, you know, you got to ride the wave as much as you possibly can, to be honest. And this one came out really well. I always want to do a follow-up to this video, but I kind of keep forgetting, and with my current mission, or whatever you want to call it, goal of making a build guide for every weapon type by the end of the year, it's kind of on the back burner. But I do want to make some sort of follow-up video where it's like how to giant that. I know I'm definitely not going to be the first person to make a video like that, but at this point I feel like I at least have my own little unique brand, if you will, on it. Can you beat Elden Ring maidenless? First, the answer is yes. Second, I don't think this is particularly a build guide or a boss guide, but it is a playthrough guide, and to be honest, I don't care because I just really want to talk about it right now. So first, the story behind this video, or let me get this out of the way. I wasn't aware that this is the thing that people were doing, if I'm not mistaken. The problem is I'm incredibly out of touch with a lot of things, this community being one of them. I really don't watch Souls-like content. I used to, like way back when. We're talking about before Bloodborne came out. But I guess a lot of the content creators that I would watch kind of stopped uploading regularly. Really, I'm just talking about Epic Name Bro. Though now he streams on Twitch regularly, and that's a banging place to be. Good streams. And nowadays, I think the only content creator I really watch, or content stuff I watch when it comes out, is Yimfa, if I'm not mistaken, because his videos are fucking hilarious and insane. At least, once again, that's just within this Souls-like space. Nonetheless, when I did this video, this was the shortest playthrough I think I've ever done of Elden Ring. I'm not a speedrunner by any means, but this was literally like a fucking 2-hour playthrough because you skip so much stuff. Swear on my life, I was just flying by the seat of my pants, because the problem is that in order to do maidenless, you know, the whole meme thing, you can't speak to women because women are maidens and we're not having that shit around here. Unfortunately, Melina's a woman, so I can't talk to her, which means I can't go to the round table hold. Now, thankfully, this was done on my 4th playthrough, so I already had the horse. If I didn't have the horse, there's no fucking way this was happening. And the funniest thing about this are the sheer amount of comments, and I'm not saying it's like a huge amount in the grand scheme of things, but relative to the comments I normally get, the amount of comments going, oh, you could do this, you could do that, you could do, like, more than any other video. Once again, like, percentage wise, I uploaded this entire series to TikTok, like, you know, step by step, and the amount of comments I got goes, why don't you just talk to Melina and go to the round table hold? Why don't you do Fio's questline? Why don't you fucking, like, first, women, I'm not talking to women. Second, in order to do Fio's questline, you gotta go to the fucking round table hold. Like, you can't, in order to push Fia's questline forward, you have to, I believe, get into the capital. No, actually, if you want to force a questline forward without ever talking to her, you have to light the bowl on fire. In order to light the bowl on fire, you have to get to the big bowl, which means that you have to get to the capital city, which means that you have to go to the round table hold. Because that door won't open unless you speak to those disgusting ass fingers So nonetheless, I got so many comments, like what's kept relative to the amount of comments there are, especially on TikTok, about like, yo, do this, why don't you do that, why don't you do this? Only one person got it right before the specifically on TikTok, because obviously on YouTube you watch the whole video, you see the end. On TikTok I was uploading it piecemeal, step by step, over the course of like, I don't know, 8 days, something like that, however many parts there are to the video. Only one person got it right, that you gotta fucking glitch it in order to get past it, which, by the way, when I figured out that was what I had to do, I was like, yo, no fucking way, man. This fun, I would never do it again, because I like taking my time when I play through the game. Sort of. Well, I mean, I definitely don't like skipping half of it, that's for sure. And if, once again, this is one of my, like, you know, I guess lesser known ones. If you haven't watched it, I think it's a fun one. Much like the Mimic Tier one. You should go back and check that one out, because I think it's a good time. How to Burger King in Elden Ring. Possibly one of my greatest works, probably not, but yeah, whatever. This 100% came from the memes, all the Burger King memes. And one of my friends did an int playthrough, int build, and was using that stupid, you know, Burger King helmet thing. So I kind of want to take it and just see how fast you can put it together. Unfortunately, you have to go to that academy in order to get it. So, you know, there's just that bit of like, you know, it's gonna force you to either sweat a bit because you're gonna be really under-leveled, or, you know, underpowered, if you will, which really is only a problem with the fucking wolf. That wolf fight went significantly better than I thought it would. It was like, you killed me once and that was it. But really, I was more in it for the memes. How many times I could just shove in a Burger King reference, which in hindsight, I don't think I did it as much as I possibly could. And I definitely disparage Burger King quite a bit, though I do compliment the milkshakes in this one. By the way, if you haven't had a Burger King milkshake, deceptively good. I thought it was going to be dog shit. It was actually pretty good. And also, just more about int builds in general. I really don't do them all that often. I did do an int dedicated playthrough on one of my New Game Plus cycles of my main character, and that just boiled down to a melee build. When I do casting in general, and we might get to this someday eventually if you guys like this and want to see more of this stuff, then when I get to the Faith video, I'll probably talk about the same stuff. I'm not a fan of just like casting range spells over and over again. I just don't think it's very fun, and I really think this game is at its peak fun. You know, when you're really like infighting the shit out of bosses and it's super exciting and that kind of stuff. So when I did an int build, it just devolved into Carrion Slicer, I think it's called. You know, the one where it's just a quick slash with a magic sword that you summon on the staff, which BT dubs, pretty fucking sick. What did it first? The Cinders mod in Dark Souls 3. I remember they fucked around with the magic a lot, so you could do stuff like that, and it was the coolest thing ever. And to see that they actually brought that whole thing into Elden Ring, really, you know, I love that. Nonetheless, would I do this build? I don't know why I'm asking this question now, but would I ever do a build like this? No, because stealth in this game is fucking pointless. Like, in my opinion at least, it's pointless because you could stealth or you could run. Running past everything works significantly better, probably 99% of the time. Nonetheless, this is much like the Mimic Tier video, more shitpost than build guide, or guide in general. And that wraps things up for this video. Once again, please let me know in the comments if you dug this whole thing, because I like doing this. It's a bit chill. I know it's different than normal, but I think doing this like once a month or something could be pretty neat. Aside from that, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. If there are any other videos you'd like to hear me talk about like this, do let me know. And until next time, don't forget to always wipe before you shit.